Hello everyone. In this class, I will tell you the new amazing short trick to solve any type of application of trigonometry question in a few seconds. Okay. So let's start with the short tricks. So to solve this type of question in your competitive exam, you must know the basic trigonometry rules. For example, in the right angle triangle, okay, let's say our angle theta is here. So the opposite side of theta, that is called opposite or height, and this is called base. Okay, and this 90-degree opposite side, that is called hypotenuse. Okay, so we are using the most important ratio, which is tan theta and cot theta. So tan theta is nothing but opposite upon base side. Okay, opposite of the theta, which is most oftenly height, upon base, this is, and cot is nothing but the reciprocal of tan, which is nothing but base upon opposite. Okay, so this base upon height. So whenever we have to find out base, we will use cot. Whenever we have to find out height, means opposite side, we will use tan. Okay. So look at the first short trick and when we can apply that short trick formula. So whenever an object is moving, okay, towards or away from the tower, building, okay. For example, an object moves distance d in a straight line, changing the angle of elevation and depression from theta 1 to theta 2. For example, let's say this is a building or any pole or tower, anything. So the height of the building is, let's say, h, and we are here, let's say object is here. So the angle of elevation of the top of the building, okay, for example, any person standing here that sees the top of the building, so the angle of elevation means this is theta 1. Now let's say our object is moving in the direction of the building, okay, towards the building. So now it is here, let's say this is point A. So after some point it reaches at point B towards the building. So now from this point B, if you look at the top of the tower, so that is the angle of theta 2, let's say, angle of elevation. So how much distance is covered, or what is the height of the building, okay, whenever this moving is there. So to find out that distance or height, we'll use the formula d is equal to, d means this distance, the moving distance of the two angles, h bracket cot theta 1 minus cot theta 2. Okay, so this d is nothing but the base distance. So whenever we have to find out this base distance, we'll use the formula d is equal to h means height of the building is equal to the difference of this cot angle. Okay, so we'll use this formula whenever object is moving towards or away from the tower or building. Look at the next short important formula. So this formula we have to use whenever object and opposite side of the tower or a building. Okay, for example, let's say this is a building tower with the height h. Okay, so object once both the object are in opposite side. So let's say this is point A, this side is point B. So if you look at from the A point, the angle of elevation is, let's say, theta 1, and from the B point, okay, which is opposite side of the building, so the angle of elevation is theta 2. So to find out the total distance from the point A to B, so we'll use the formula d is equal to h bracket cot theta 1 plus cot theta 2. Okay, so if the angle is opposite side, then we have to add that angles with cot, and if it is the same side and you are moving, then we have to subtract that cot angles. Okay. And the fourth important formula is flex staff on the building. So look at the diagram here. Let's say this is a building with the height h. Now on the top of the building, one flag is there. So the height of the flag is x, let's say. We don't know the height of the flag. And let's say when our object is here. Okay, so if you are looking at the top of the building, the bottom of the flag, so this is our angle of elevation, let's say theta 1. And if you are looking at the top of the flag, so let's say that is the angle of elevation theta 2. So what is the height of the flag? Okay, suppose we have to find out the height of the flag. So this is nothing but now height. So whenever we have to find out the opposite side, that means height. Okay, so let's say the height of the flag is x. So we'll use the formula x is equal to d. D means this base distance from the building or tower, whatever is that. So d bracket tan theta 1 minus tan theta 2. Okay, means bigger value minus smaller value always in the subtraction. So d into tan theta 1 minus tan theta 2. So whenever we have to find out height related questions, we will use tan, and whenever we have to find out this base related question, we have to use cot. Okay, So by using this short three formulas, we will solve the questions. So let's start with the question number one, easy question. The question is, an extension ladder leaning against a vertical wall makes an angle of elevation theta with the ground such that sin theta is equal to 0.8. Okay. So let's look at this diagram here. Let's say this is a wall and this is a ladder. So ladder is making an angle with the ground theta. Okay, so that sin theta is given 0.8. Okay, so if we convert this 0.8, so sin theta can be written as 0.8 can be written as 8 upon 10. So if we cancel out by 2, we'll get sin theta is equal to 4 2s and 5 2s, 4 by 5. Okay, so if we use the simple trigonometry, sine means nothing but opposite upon hypotenuse. Okay, so opposite is, let's say this is a ratio, so let's say opposite of the theta, which is this wall, so let's say that is 4x, and upon is hypotenuse, so hypotenuse is this, so let's say that is 5x. So if you know the simple triplets of Pythagorean theorem, okay, so 4 and 5, two values are 4 and 5, that means the third value is 3. Okay, if we don't know, then you just remember 3 4 5, this is the Pythagorean triplet. So I will write some important Pythagorean triplets here. You can remember 3 4 5, 5 12 13, 7 24 25. Okay, these are the most commonly used Pythagorean triplets. So here 4 and 5 are given, so the third triplet is 3. Okay, so this base is nothing but 3, and it is a ratio, so we will take 3x. So the three sides of these triangles are 3x, 4x, and 5x. Okay, now read the question. If the top of the ladder reaches exactly 24-meter up the wall, okay, so this is the top of the ladder, okay, where it reach 24-meter up the wall, that means the height of this wall till this highest point of the ladder is 24, and from this triangle we have written this value is nothing but 4x. So 4x is equal to 24. So from here we can say x is nothing but 24 by 4, which is 6. Okay, so we got the value of x. Now what we have to find out? Calculate the horizontal distance from the base of the wall to the foot of the ladder. Okay, that means we have to find out this base. This is the foot of the ladder and this is the wall. Okay, so this base distance we have to find out. So we know that this base is nothing but what? 3x. And what is the value of x? 6. So 3 multiplied by 6, which is 18. So our correct answer is 18 here. Okay. Look at the next question. A surveillance drone tracking a target maintains a constant altitude. Okay, so let's say our drone is here. Okay, this is our drone at a constant altitude. So height is same. So initially the angle of elevation of the drone from the target is alpha, where tan alpha is 2. So let's say the target is here. Okay, so initial the angle is given alpha. Okay, after the target moves 150 meter directly away from the drone. Okay, so drone is here, so away from the drone means this side. How much distance? 150 meter. Along the straight horizontal path, the new angle of elevation become beta. Okay, so here the angle of elevation is beta, that is given. So find the operational altitude of the drone. So we have to find out what is the height of the drone from the ground. So in the starting, target was here at an angle alpha. So after moving 150 meter away from the drone, the angle is beta. Okay, so we have to use that formula. Our d is equal to, okay, because base is moving, the target is moving from the base 150 meter. Okay, so we'll use the formula d is equal to h bracket cot theta 1 minus cot theta 2. Okay, so how much distance is moving? 150 meters. So d is 150 meter. H we have to find out. Now cot, now you are saying this cot is not given, so if you take the reciprocal of tan, okay, so tan alpha is given 2. I'll write here tan alpha is given to be 2. So if we take the reciprocal of tan alpha, it will be cot alpha. So reciprocal of 2, which is nothing but 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 means 0.5. Okay, so cot alpha is 0.5. Then beta, so tan beta is given 0.5. Tan beta is 0.5. So if we take the reciprocal of tan beta, we'll get cot beta. which is 0.5 means 1 by 2. So reciprocal of 1 by 2, which is 2. Okay. So which is the maximum value? 2, and minimum value is 0.5. So we'll subtract maximum minus minimum. So 2 minus 0.5. Okay. So 150 is equal to h bracket. Now 2 minus 0.5, which is nothing but 1.5. Okay. So 1.5 can be written as 1.5 is nothing but 3 by 2. Okay. If you remove the decimal, so it is 15 upon 10. So 5 3s are 5 2s are, so 3 by 2. And this side 150. So we have to find out h. So if we do the cross multiplication, 2 will come here. So 150 multiplied by 2, and this 3 will go in the denominator upon 3 is equal to h. So if we solve this, 3 5s are 15, 0 will remain, so 50 2s are 100. So correct answer is 100 meter. Option number A. Look at the next question. From a point on the ground 30-meter away from the base of the building. Okay. So let's say this is a building, and from the 30-meter away from the building, so the base value is given 30-meter. Angle of elevation of the bottom and top of the vertical flag staff fixed on the roof. Okay, so let's say this is the height of the building h, and on the building one flag is there. Okay, so the height of the flag, let's say x. Okay, so the angle of elevations are given 37 degree and 45 degree. Both the angles are given. So find the height of the flag staff. So that also short formula we have written. So that x is equal to, formula is h bracket, sorry, d bracket, that distance, base distance bracket, tan theta 1 minus tan theta 2. Okay, means bigger minus smaller, you can take any bigger. So x we have to find out the base distance, which is given 30. So tan. Okay, so let's say theta 1 is a, let's say, bigger angle. So bigger angle is 45. So tan 45, which is 1, minus tan theta 2. Theta 2 is, let's say, 37 degree, which is given 0.75. So 1 minus 0.75. So 31 minus 0.75, which is nothing but 0.25. Okay. So 0.25 is nothing but 1 by 4. Okay. If you remove the decimal, it will be 25 upon 100. So 25 4 is 100. So 1 by 4. So if we can divide this 30 upon 4. Okay. So 4 7 is 28. So we will get 7 point something. Okay. No need to solve full thing. In only one option we have 7 point something, which is option number B. Or if you divide this 30 upon 4, you will get exactly 7.5. Okay, so that's our answer. Move to the next question. The angle of depression from the top of 60-meter high coastal cliff. Okay, so one coastal cliff is given, the height is given to be 60. To rescue boat stationary in the sea is 14 degree. Okay, so this is the angle of depression is given. Okay, so angle of depression is nothing but from the, let's say, top of the, let's say this is a tower. Okay, so if you are looking from the, and here it is rescue boat. Okay, so this angle, if you are looking down, so this angle is 14 degree. So between two parallel lines, these angles must be same, that is called alternate interior angle. Okay, so angle of depression must be same as angle of elevation, so we can write down 14 degree here. Now what we have to find out, find the horizontal distance. Okay, that means this distance, base distance, we have to calculate. Height is given, we have to find out base distance. So let's apply tan formula. So tan theta is given by what? Opposite upon base. So theta is given 14. So tan 14 is equal to, what is the opposite of 14 degree? Opposite is height, which is given to be 60. Base we have to calculate. So let's say that base is d. So if we do the cross multiplication, d will come here and tan 14 will come down. Okay. So d is equal to 60 upon tan 14, and tan 40 value is given 0.25. So 60 upon 0.25. So 0.25 is nothing but, just now we have written, it is 1 upon 4. So 1 upon 4 will go in the numerator. Okay, because whenever a upon b all divided by c upon d is there. Okay, so a upon b then we have to take the reciprocal of the denominator and multiply with the numerator. Okay, so similar thing here, 60 upon 1 by 4, so 1 by 4 we have to take the reciprocal and multiply with the numerator. So 60 into 4, which is 240 meter. Okay, so our correct answer is C, 240. Next question. The angle of an elevation of the top of the industrial chimney from a point P on the ground is theta, such that tan theta is 0.4. Moving 60 meter closer to the chimney base along the straight path to a point Q, the new angle of elevation is 45. Okay. So if we draw the diagram, let's say this is a chimney. Height we don't know, that we have to find out. Okay, find the height of the chimney. So let's say in the starting, this is point P. So if you look at the highest point of the chimney, this angle is given, let's say theta. Okay, that is given tan theta 0.4. After moving 60 meter closer to the chimney. Okay, so this distance is given 60 meter. After that, if we are looking at the top of the chimney, the angle of elevation is 45 degree. Okay, so we are moving towards the chimney, so we are given distance is given, so we'll use our that D formula. D is equal to H bracket cot theta 1 minus cot theta 2. Okay, to find out height. So distance is given, moving distance 60 meter. H we have to calculate. Okay, cot we have to find out. Okay, so one angle is 45 degree, so tan 45, which is 1. So if you take the reciprocal of tan 45, that will be cot 45, and cot 45 is also 1. Okay, so we'll write down 1 minus, now cot theta 2. Okay, so cot theta 2, second angle is given. Okay, tan theta is given 0.4. So if we take the reciprocal of tan theta, which will get cot theta. Okay, and 0.4, so if you write down properly, it is nothing but 4 by 10. So if we cancel out, we'll get 2 2s and 5 2s, so 2 by 5. So cot theta will be reciprocal, so 5 by 2. Okay, 5 by 2 means nothing but 2.5. Half of 5 is 2.5. So we'll write down the bigger value first, so 2.5 minus smaller value, that is 1. So 60 is equal to H bracket 2.5 minus 1, which is 1.5. Okay, and 1.5 is nothing but 3 by 2. Okay, remember this value, 1.5 means 3 upon 2. We have to find out H. So take this 2 in the multiplication, so 60 multiplied by 2, and this 3 will go in the denominator, upon 3 is equal to H. So if we cancel out 3 2s are 6, 0 will remain, so 20 into 2, which is 40 meter. So correct answer for this question is B, 40 meter. Height of the chimney is 40. Next question. An observer 1.7 meter tall stand on a horizontal ground at a distance of 20 meter from a vertical telephone pole. So visualize that this is a, let's say, telephone pole. Okay, the height of the telephone pole is given 21.7 meter. Total height is 21.7 meter, and the observer's height is 1.7. That means this height 1.7, the height of the observer. If the So what is the angle of elevation of the top of the pole from the observer's eye level? Okay, so this is observer 1.7 meter tall. So eye level means like this from here. Okay, so total height of the pole is 21.7. So if we remove the height of the observer, okay, height of the observer is 1.7. If we remove that, we'll get remaining height is 20. Okay, 21.7 minus height of the observer, which is 1.7. Okay, so the remaining height of the pole, which is nothing but 20. So now it is like this, from the eye level of the observer. Okay, this height is 20, and that observer is from the 20 meter from the tower or a pole. Okay, this base distance is 20, height is 20. We have to find out angle of elevation theta. Okay, so if you apply tan theta, so tan theta is given by what? Opposite upon base. So what is opposite? This height, which is given to be 20, upon base is also 20. So 20 by 20, which is nothing but 1. So at what angle tan is give you 1? At 45 degree. So the angle of elevation is must be 45 degree, because at tan 45 only we will get answer to be 1. Okay. So whenever height and base is same, you just remember the trick. Height and base is same, that means the angle of elevation must be 45 degree. Look at the next question. Two objects rest on the level ground on opposite side of 45-meter height observer tower. So let's say this is a height of the tower which is given to be 45 degree. Now two objects are resting on the ground but opposite side. Okay, so one observer is here, let's say point A, other observer is here at point B. So the angle of depression from the top of the tower to the first object and the second objects are given by 45 and 75. Okay, so if I draw the line from the top of the tower, so angle of depressions are given. Okay, one is 37 and the other is 45. But the angle of depression and angle of elevation must be same. Okay, so this is 37, so this is also 37. This is 45, so this is also 45. So we have to find out the total distance separating the two objects. Okay, that means the distance between A to B, this distance D. So that also formula we have written. For that distance D, the formula is H bracket. We have to add the angles cot theta 1 plus cot theta 2. Okay, so height is given 45, cot theta 1, so one angle is 45, so cot 45, which is 1, plus second angle is 37, so tan 37 is given 0.75. Okay, tan 37, which is given to be 0.75. Okay. So cot 37 is equal to reciprocal of 0.75. So if we write down 75 0.75 properly, okay, so if we remove the decimal, 75 by 100, so 25 3s are and 25 4s are 3 by 4. So tan 37 0.75, which is written as 3 by 4. So cot 37, which is nothing but 4 upon 3, reciprocal. Okay, so here 4 upon 3 will come. So 45 inside the bracket 1 plus 4 by 3. So if we do the cross multiplication, 3 ones are 3 plus 4 all divided by 3. Okay, so we can cancel out 15 3s are 45. So 15 multiplied by 4 plus 3, which is 7. So 15 into 7, which is 0 105, 105. Okay. So correct answer is here, option number A, 105. Look at the last question, which is very important. A person standing at the top of 40-meter high watchtower. Okay, so height of the tower is given 40. Notice a car approaching to the base of the tower along the straight road. The initial angle of depression is 14 degree. Okay, that means the person is watching from the top of the tower. So this is the angle of depression, which is 14. So we know that angle of depression and angle of elevation must be equal. So this is 14, that means this is also 14. And the car is here. Okay, so car is approaching towards the tower like this. So after a car travels a uniform speed of 20 seconds, okay, time is given. So after 20 seconds, car is covering some distance, correct? So let's say car is covered distance D, and then car is reached here at point B. Let's say this is starting point A. After some 20 seconds, car is reaching at point B, and at that time the angle of depression shifts 53 degree. Okay, this angle is 53. So this angle of elevation from the car to the tower, that is also 53. So the question is, determine the speed of the car. Okay. So to find out the speed, we have the formula speed is equal to distance upon time. So time is given 20 seconds, but distance we have to find out. How much distance this car has covered from the point A to B. Okay. So this find out this distance, we have the short formula D is equal to H bracket cot theta 1 minus cot theta 2. Okay. So height is given 40, bracket, both the angles are given. Okay, so we'll use the bigger angle. So first angle is tan 14, which is given to be 0.25. So cot 14, reciprocal of tan 14, which is cot 14. Now 0.25 means 1 upon 4. So reciprocal of 1.4, which is 4. Okay, so we'll write down here 4. Then minus, second angle is tan 53. So tan 53, which is given to be 1.33 or exactly 4 by 3. Okay, so it is given to be 4 by 3. So reciprocal of tan, which is cot 53, which is 3 by 4. Okay, so we'll write down here 3 by 4. So 40 as it is, bracket. If we do the cross multiplication, 4 for the 16 minus 3 whole divided by 4. Okay, so 4 tens are 40. So 10 inside the bracket 16 minus 3, which is 13. So 10 into 13, which is 130. So this is a distance which car is covered in a 20 second. But we have to find out what speed. So speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance is 130. So 130 upon 20. Time is 20 second. So this 0 0 if we cancel out, so 13 upon 2 means the half of the 13, which is nothing but 6.5. Okay. So the speed of the car is 6.5 meter per second. So this is all about trigonometric questions. If you like this trick, then share with your friend and do comment. Thank you.